Up, everyone? Erod212 here. Um, Another haul video for you guys. Could be a quick one today, but just wanted to show off some stuff that I picked up at the flea market. Just show another avenue of getting books for everyone. Definitely check your local flea markets. Just want to give a shout out to people in the chat. I see AG Surfers in there. My man, the Art Chemist. What's going on? And Johnny Dakota. Thank you guys for joining. Um, Cat 60 Designs, Peanut is in the house also. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody had a nice holiday, you know. Blade Runner 404. What's good? Um, so anyway, hit the flea market on Saturday, and I think I did well. Um, Most of the books I got them for $3 a pop, I think it was. And a few I paid a little more for, but for the most part, I did very good. So went up to this one guy. I usually circle this place around, case it out, go to the spots I hit first. I have kind of made a relationship with one of the vendors there, and he'll show me whatever books he has. So I kind of take a look at his books. He'll bring out the boxes for me to take a look at the books and buy some. He's not selling. He knows what he has, but he is giving me decent prices, So it should be, some interesting books come up there sometimes. Walked around a bit and didn't see anything, came back. I usually do a double lap so that way defenders get to get in there because I get there bright and early when everybody gets there. Jeff G, what's going on, my brother? How's everything? And I saw another vendor, and he had, I think it was 8 short boxes there. Man, he was asking $5 a piece for the books, which I thought was a little too much, but I asked if he could bundle it up, do a deal, and that's what we came upon. So first book I came upon that I really liked there, I saw this there, and that was Spider-Man Unlimited. It was a Shriek's first appearance, right? But it's a nice newsstand copy. So I was able to get this. Roger Levesque, what's going on? And I said it right, Levesque. Now, like my man, the Butcher. There were 2 copies there, and these are all nice, real nice shaped copies, and a third copy. So 3 copies there. That next book I found in the same box was that a book which has gotten hot all of a sudden. Used to find this in the dollar bins all the time, but I'll take it. Another super clean. I tell you what, wherever he got this from, this place I go to, a lot of times you'll see guys that buy out storage bins and stuff, put the stuff out there, clean out attics. That's another big thing. Omega Comics, how's everything going today? And you're able to get deals because they're looking to move stuff in volumes. And my man Gomez, the comic collector, has just joined us. So everybody, broski, what's good, my brother? Quick recap for you guys. These were flea market finds. Amazing Spider-Man, and 3 nice newsstand copies of Spider-Man Unlimited #1. Newsstand, as my man used to say. This book, I was super happy. One of the better finds there, because it's pretty clean. Not perfectly white, but this is a tough book to find it complete white, and that's Wonder Woman 72, that iconic Bolin cover. Look at the prices on this book. This book is not a cheap book. My man, the Comic Forge. If you guys didn't watch the Pressable Defects last night, I watched them on a rewind today. Those guys are hilarious, bro, and they good content. I like the way they set up their videos this time around, where they have segments and they have structure to it. It was really done well. Good job on that guy. Real good job on that with you guys. Even the Fantastic Four stuff that you did, where you show you 4 books, that was nice. That was well done. Well done. Just want to give you guys kudos on that. Next books I found in that bin of boxes there was this Ghost Rider #28, and these are newsstand editions also. In the poly with the magazines, and this is the first appearance of the Midnight Suns. So if that ever comes to Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, this is a book that if you can find on the wild cheap, it's not an expensive book, but if you find this in the wild cheap, it's a great spec book to have. This book will pick up steam. I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of that. Purgatory Limbo Offerings Books Tuber. Welcome aboard. Haven't seen you on here before, so nice to have a new person coming along. So yeah, Cosmic. What you call it? Midnight Suns. First appearance. Newsstand, right there. Still in the poly bags. Can't pass that up. 4 copies like that. Couldn't pass that up. And then these were the last 4 books I bought from this guy. And I really like these books. I went through them all. Yeah, Johnny, if I'm going to submit them, you have to take them out of the poly bag. CGC will not accept a book in the poly bag. I don't know if they'll even cut it out the poly bag for you, but to get a grade, you have to take it out the poly bag. And I'm going to press them all. I press all my books just to make sure I can get out any little imperfection that might have been there, because I got burnt a couple times where I send them and I thought they were 9.8s and they came back in 9.6, and then later on, so just double the work. But saw these, and this is what really caught my eye. Venom Lethal Protector newsstands, and these were probably in 9.4, 9.6 shape. Real nice. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, AG. So on the 26th, right there, 3 Men in the Basement are going to have their Connecticut comic swap, and I'll be setting up there, as well as the Comic Defects, Very Gary Comics that I know of. Those will all be setting up there as top. I know there's some other vendors that are involved. I mean, I'm a minor player. This is my first time doing it. I'm just going to do it more for the shits and giggles, and if we can sell some books, we sell some books. Should be a good time. Should be a lot of fun. So like I told you, walk into the flea market, walk up, and the first person I deal with is the kid that I buy books from. These are gonna be nice, bro. I call 9.6s. I can't say 9.8s, but I call 9.6s on maybe 3 out of the 4. Oh, AG, it would have been a blast to have you out there, bro. I mean, I remember when we went to East Coast, we had nothing but fun. It was a good time. So, Joey Does Comics. What's going on, my brother? How's everything? I'm telling you, Roger, we're going to have fun. Listen, we got the Comic Forge there. We're going to be laughing our asses off. That's all I got to say. I got the Comic Forge. I got Manny NYC. My man Joker M21's coming down. I mean, on top of that, whoever else from the comic community is coming down, man, from Beantown showing up, I know for sure. Choo Choo Comics, what's going on? Another good man in the community, my man Choo Choo right there. Hey, Roger, check this one out. I think I showed you guys this, but I found this there too. So I got this at that flea market, and that's that homage to ASM 300, Venom number 6, and it's a store variant, I believe, for somebody, but not bad. This was on the table, and from what I saw, it maybe ranks like a 9.4 maybe. I had to scoop it up though. 9.2, 9.4. I got to look it over again, but real nice copy of Secret Wars number 8. And then the last book I bought from him was this. Very nice copy also. Probably in the 9s. Hoping in the 9s. At least 9092. Copy of Amazing Spider-Man 252. First appearance of the black costume. So these were all nice. These might actually be... I'm going to probably sell these raw at that show. Haven't decided yet, but probably they're going to be part of what I'm selling there for myself. So nice books. Nice books. Again, flea market finds. I know if you watch like the Butch and those guys, they go out to the Bronx. They got a guy who sells out of his backyard. It's all of these other creative ways to find comic books besides your LCS, where they're pricing everything or checking on eBay and hitting up the prices. Sometimes you get guys who know what they want, what they have, but you're going to get lucky sometimes, and you're going to find guys that really don't know exactly what they have. They have an idea. Like I had a guy asking me, well, everything older is worth more. And that's not true. So, you educate them sometimes. And the guys get appreciate it. You just explain to them that not everything is worth the value. It depends on first appearances and stuff like that. And guys like it. Zach G, what's going on? I got the Jeff G and Zach G, father-son duo. Good to see you guys here. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support always, guys. And then the next book I'm going to show you guys is actually what I did it last time, and I'm probably going to try and do it every chance I can on my show. It's going to be my eBay steal of the week, all right? And what I'm going to show you is what I picked up on eBay that I feel from my, grading pictures and stuff like that, and then upon seeing the books, I think I can get out of these books. I think I'll be all right. So these are the two books I purchased. Thor 337 and Thor 338. 38, it moves a little bit, but 37, it is the hot book. And I'll show you what I paid for these books. So that's what I paid. I paid $109.99, so $110 and 7, so $117. All right, not bad for that book, I think. Right? What do you guys think on that? And let me show you. This is GPA on a 337. So if this book is a 9.4, it's a $250 book. If it's a 9.6, it's about a $270. The 250 is probably an anomaly. It's probably more like a $200 book. But I'm only in 117. $30 more for CGC puts me at 147. So if I get that 9.6, that's $120 profit. If I get it in a 9.4, and I can get it, and the trend continues to go up on this book at 250, and I'll put 140 into it. It's a $90 profit. Anytime I can make $100 or close to $100 on a book that I only spent $100 for, it's a win-win situation for me. That's the way I look at that stuff, But you guys tell me, do you like this type of thing? Me showing this type of stuff, Yeah, that's right. I didn't even realize it's a newsstand. God damn, good pickup there, Joe. You know what? I was so caught up on it, I didn't even see that. But I think, hey, Bruce Zayas, what's going on, brother? I like doing that. I like showing you guys that there are other venues and how to buy books, besides cons and comic stores. eBay is still a good source. You just have to do some work. You're not going to find it out. It doesn't come overnight. If I find, and I don't do it as much as I used to, but if I find 1 or 2 good books a week, I'm happy. Think about it. If I could take 2 books a week and let's say invest $100 and make $150, that's $300 a week. You take $300 a week, that's $1,200, that's 12,000, plus another, that's $13,000. Over $13,000 in a year just from trolling eBay. Think about that. Bad Avenger, what's going on? Like I said, guy, anytime you can double your profit, it's a win-win. And then this was the last book I picked up, and this is a spec book for me. This is probably like in a 5.0 condition. Has a little bit of a spine split, but I'll take this book now every chance I get in a 5.0 or better. Whenever I get a decent price on it. So I got this probably $100 on the GPA. Hey, think about it, JLS, right? Hey, JLS, what's going on, brother? I haven't seen you in a bit. $13K just to sit from home, pick out books on top of whatever you sell and everything else. You can make some nice money on picking up books from eBay. You just got to know how to pick them out. But I got this Journey into Mystery Annual #1. That's the first appearance of Hercules. I think it's almost a given that Hercules somewhere along the line is going to show up in the MCU. I don't know if I showed this in my last haul. If I did already, I apologize. Yep. Well, that's the one thing I do, our chemist. I'll even offer prices. I'll offer them and hit them up and offer them a little lower if I feel. The thing is, don't gouge them. Don't undercut them. Let's say the book is $250. You offer anybody $100, $125. He's going to tell you no. But if you're reasonable about it and you make the offer, sometimes you'll be surprised at what prices you'll get a book at. So, it's just another interesting way to go about and look at things. Always looking for that new venue or that new way of buying or selling some books. Any chance we get, that's what we do. We play this game. It's a lot of fun. Read your comics, but the buying and selling aspect, or the hunt, is the best part of this game to me. Love the hunt. I love going out there and searching and digging. And I hit a shop Sunday, and I struck out. I got absolutely nothing, but it was a big store. They have their own store variants, so everything, they knew everything they had. It was tough. Here's another thing that I'm going to give a little effort into. I'm going to try, and it's something I got from my man Otto from Three Men in the Basement. He's always like, buy a 9.6, crack it out, see if you can get that 9.8. What do you got to lose if you get that book under GPA? And it's true. Let's say I get a book, a 9.6, right? And I get it for $30 is the number I'm always going to shoot at, let's say, because that's about what it costs you to do a modern book with shipping back and forth and everything else, give or take a few dollars here, right? So if I can take a 9.6, get it $30 under GPA minimum, right? Crack it out, resubmit it CGC, and take that shot at a 9.8. What do I got to lose? The time that I wait for the book, that's about it. If I'm not in a rush to have that book back to me, why not take that shot? So I'm going to show you a few books that I'm going to experiment with and take that shot. So you're seeing them here first, and when I show them, when they come in through CGC, you guys will have seen what books they are. All right. So the first book is going to be this, and that's Batman Beyond #1. Great book to have. This is a super high grade copy. This was a 9.6. The only thing, I mean, you can, depending on the grading, and CGC has been a little rough lately, you can take a loss, but that's the gamble, part of the game. You win some, you lose some. You just, if you're not that much invested into it, and next book, it's going to be Return of Wolverine, and this is the glow in the dark New York Comic Con variant cover, which is probably one of J. Scott Campbell's best non-female covers that he's done. And this was also a 9.6. I believe this book will come back a 9.6 again, but I am going to take the shot. This is a book that I got on the cheap. I'm hoping that this book comes back a 9.0. If I get this a 9.0, I'm ecstatic. Anything higher than that, I am. And this was an 8.5. It does have some spine ticks, as you'll see. My luck kills it, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 spine ticks. But other than that, the book looks pretty good. And this is that KB Toys exclusive inside the figure. Seen again, my man Thorough, Keep It Thorough, was one of the first guys showing this book and showing the actual book with the figure, because he used to collect them. So just something there. And then this is the last book. I got this book from my man Uncle Roman, and I think I could do a better press job than what I saw on this. I don't know if it got dinged up a little bit when they handled the book or not, but love this cover. Tough book to find. Short print that I believe is a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50 for X23. It's a rendition of that iconic Daredevil cover. And this was a 9.4. So if I can get this book to a 9.6, money in the bank. I am very happy. Yeah, you know what? Guy, I can't take credit for it. That's Everett Otto's idea. I think it's a great idea. You know what? We play with it a little bit. We'll see how it works. If it turns out to be money for me, win-win. I showed these and just sometimes also, if you guys have a lot of inventory, go back in your inventory and take a look at your inventory. Because I went and hit a box that I knew I had stuff in, but it was sitting there for a while. And I swear to you that this is true, that these books were sitting in a box for who knows how long. And I know that I have a box somewhere with at least 2 or 3 statics, number one, inside the poly bag that I have not taken out. Yeah, I wish, guy, sometimes press can only take you so far. And I try and tell people that all the time. Educate themselves on grading books, because you might see, let's say, an indentation in a book or something else, but if that book has a dog ear, that book has 3 spine ticks, that grade is going to be the max it's going to hit is whatever you got. Even if you improve those other defects, it only improves the presentation, but it doesn't improve everything. Oh, my man Matt Forge in the house. What's going on, brother? Great show last night, man. I wanted to tell you that. So I was in a box, sitting there bullshitting. Matter of fact, I was on an auction. I just started going through it, and I had picked this up. And this was a book my man Biggie's had told us about, because he just loved the cover. And I bought, I think, 2 of them only. I should have bought way more, because if you see the price on this, the Virgin's even worse. But that was in a box. This was sitting in a box. This was sitting in a box. And yeah, I knew I had this, but I didn't know where, and I found it. I actually have one signed by Kate's that I just sent out to CBCS for signature verification. So those were sitting in boxes that I had just sitting around there, It's like the first appearance of Shuri. I know I got 2 copies of that at least that I have put aside that I was going to mail out to CGC. It's just so backed up with books sent into CGC that I haven't even sent those in yet. So I think the time to strike on those books is now. I mean, if the Pressable Defects guys were talking about it last night. If you guys have seen the prices on that, it's insane. So I was inspired by my man Comic Forge to create my own little stuff now. Taking inspiration from Comic Forge. You can learn so much from guys on in the community, just watching what they do, incorporating it. And if you guys haven't seen my new logo, man, take a look at that logo. Shout out to my man Eddie, the comic guy from the New York Warriors. He updated all the Warriors logos, and I am loving this new logo. This logo might have to become my t-shirt. I've been holding off on that, but I am really liking that, really, really liking that. So, if you guys have any questions, anything you guys want to talk about, I'm free for a few minutes to talk a little bit and just shoot the shit. I'll tell you what, have you guys looked at the prices of the first Silk? That ASM4? Prices are shooting through the roof. That book was hitting, there were a couple of sales in that book in over $250, over $300. That book was approaching a $330, $340 range. So that was a book that I kind of talked about quite a while ago, telling people to take a look at it when it was in the $50 to $75 range. I know Dave in the Cave is stockpiled on that book, but I think Matt Forge brought it up yesterday, and I was been mentioning this for a while. You go to that Amazing Spider-Man #1, which is the first appearance of Cindy Moon, and that is a book I would be picking up. It's already picking up steam. You see it for like $15 to $20 now, but I guarantee you that that's in dollar bins at some places, or even $5 bins. I would be getting that book and scooping that book up as many as you can. I believe there's like 20 plus variants on that thing. There are a shitload of variants, and the thing with that book, it's a thick stock book. It's a big book. It's like a double book. First, which one is high? No, the first Gwen AG is about an $800 book now, and that's just for the regular cover, first print. It's hitting 800. Bruce's Eyes said he just sold a Spider-Man 198 for $125. There we go, people, and that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. But anytime you can find a book for $10, like I said, put $30 into the book for grading and get it a 9.8 and sell it for $125. You're talking $40. You made an $85 profit. Home run. Johnny Dakota's asking, how did I learn how to press? So here's my story, Johnny. I used to send my books to a reputable presser, but his turnaround times were like 3 months at the time. He was a guy from um, the CGC forums who still presses, and he's fantastic, great presser. And I got tired of, first of all, waiting 3 months for my books, then to go to CGC. So it was a 6 month turnaround period with that. And then I tried CCS. I used to use the company that was the guy who's, I'm trying to remember his name now. Matt. I'm trying to think his last name. Anyway, he's the guy that runs CCS for them. He used to have his own company. He was another fantastic presser, but you had a wait time. So I went and CCS did some work for me, and I wasn't satisfied. I actually, and Biggie's and I, we used to talk a lot about it, and we would see defects that we knew that should have been pressed out. So I tried a local presser. He was okay. I thought he could do a little better. And I just was like, one day I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I think I'll do this myself. So I started doing a lot of research. I kept on researching, looking into how to press. Who dat? What's good, my brother? I actually went to like paper archives and conservation and read up on there. If you go on there, you'll actually learn how to make a humidification chamber for yourself, which is something that's important to learn how to do if you have to introduce humidity to a book. There are two ways to introduce humidity. A lot of people use the fast way with a steamer and stuff like that. The problem is you can get spittle, which will ruin your book and leave water spots. The other thing is the train of thought is that you might be introducing steam too quick and cause rust to the staples. With the humidity chamber, you leave it in there. It takes a longer period of time. I prefer that process for when I have to realign a spine on a book or anything else. But I learned that through there. I also learned that different papers take different humidity, take different temperatures, and trial and error was everything, Johnny, more than anything. Shout out to all my New York Warriors, because what I did was I told them what I was doing. And I told them to give me all of their crap books that they wanted pressed. And they just let me practice. So if you don't have that luxury, go to 50-cent bins, dollar bins, and pick up books. And then also learn special, like different defects. So if you say, hey, I want to learn how to fix this. If you can't find a book with it, create it sometimes, pen writing, anything like that. Take a piece of paper, write and pen over it. Try and learn how to remove that. It's all an art. It takes a lot of practice. The other thing I tell people is, and this is my opinion, humidity ranges from state to state. So where you do your books is going to change your range on how long the book has to dehumidify, how long the book has to stay in the machine. Every book is different. Modern books press different than bronze books, which press different than Silver Age, which press different than Golden Age. During the Golden Age, there was a shortage. So we were using pulp paper, which was cheap. Sometimes they only use one staple on those books. Learn all of that stuff. Find out you got to figure out methods on how to press a book and not get that stamp, the code stamp pressed through the books. What else do you have to do so that your staples don't pop out over too much pressure on a book and make your staples pop? There's so many things that you have to. I pressed books, I want to say, a good 6 to 7 months before I even tried. And I'll tell you right now that what I did back then is nowhere near what I could do now. Like everything, with practice and time, you're going to get better. So that's my pressing story. I've been pressing for about 4 years now, 3-4 years. Within the last year and a half, though, it's really picked up. I'm up to 4 machines now. Knights of Ren, what's going on, brother? Up to 4 machines now, so speeding up my process. I never thought it would grow to what it is. I appreciate this community for that. I try and give everybody the best. And the whole thing is you try and move fast, right? And you try and get books done fast, but yet you still want to be able to provide that service that sets you apart from the regular guy who doesn't go, I'll take a book, and I've done it multiple times with different people, and I'll press that book 2 and 3 times because I see a defect that I think needs to be taken out. Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, and do a lot of research. There's actually a lot more venues now. When I started pressing back then, it was like a secret cult society. Guys would not share shit with you. It was tough. It's a lot more out there now. Yeah, nah, you know what? My power in my house is pretty good. The only thing I got to make sure, if I have two machines running, because I have them spread out. If I have two machines running at the same time and my wife decides to use the microwave upstairs, microwave power will pop my circuit breaker. So I always make sure. But you learn how to alternate them. So heat up a machine, do your press on that, set up the next machine, set up the next machine. Let's say it takes you a half hour for four machines to set up a cycle, but now you're rotating four books throughout like that. You know, Knights of Ren. So Knights as, do you get burnt out? As of now, no, I haven't gotten burnt out. I took hiatuses for years. Once my kids kind of became older and they were doing their own thing, this is what I always loved. So I came back to it. I'm going to tell you what changed it for me. This is the truth. And this is not a shameless plug. Being part of the New York Warriors and being part of this comic community changed it for me, because it doesn't make it boring anymore. It doesn't make it only me. You know, on a daily basis, I'll talk to the New York Warriors. I'll talk to the Pressable Defects. You know, 3 Men in the Basement. I talk to those guys every day. BLC, I talk to quite a bit. You know, Mr. Let, I'll talk to. Roman Curtis, I'll talk to. You know, just a bunch of guys in the communities that I'll talk to. Besides the guys that I'm talking about pressing, I'm just talking about comics, but we also talk about life and sports and movies and shit like that, and laugh and have a good time. And then you go to a con, and I can't say it enough, but you go and you meet up with a bunch of guys, and bro, you guys are just having laughs, man. It doesn't matter about collecting the books that much. It's more about the camaraderie and the brotherhood that we kind of have. It's kind of like a sports team, but we're all about comics. That's all it is, man. That's all. Bruce Zayas, cleaning is a tricky thing. There's only certain things that it's considered dry cleaning, so you can only use certain products on that. But color rub and what items will take color off your book and all of that stuff are different things that you have to learn. So it's all about practice and taking your time. So yeah, that's my stuff. Warlord, what's going on? I apologize, I didn't see you in there. Just want to say hello. Rag718, thank you for joining me all the time. Rag's been around for a long time. He's an OG on this community. He knows what it's all about. He collects for a long, long time. So you know, that's the best part about this community for me, is just hanging out with you guys and just bullshit and talking shit and laughing and fucking setting up memes and gifs and fucking sending it and making fun of each other and everything else. Yeah, there you go. Nemesis Prime says it right there. He says, tell him about the lunch in Wayne after the comic show. So we go to this small show in Wayne, and it's 10 of us, including my son. And it's myself, the couple of guys from the Defects, a couple of guys from 3 Men in the Basement. Man from Beantown came all the way down, and Manny NYC came down and joined us. And I think the best part about the whole show, I mean, I scored some books, don't get me wrong, but we all went out, sat down, had some beers, and just laughed our asses off for like an hour and a half. You didn't want it to end, man. It was just fucking a great day with a lot of laughs and just cool guys. You get to know guys who have like interest, yet have different things that they like. I mean, you know, we got the cousins now. We didn't have cousins in the community. Now we got fucking cousins, as my man Thurl says, you know? I mean, I grew up in a community with a lot of cousins, so I can relate to a lot of those fucking jokes and a lot of shit that goes on. So I'm just sitting there. Bruce Size is asking, what was my what the fuck book failed? Listen, I've done so many fails. I've popped a staple. Uh, I've pressed a book where it came back a frisbee. There's just been a lot. You know, you're going to see it's trial and error. You're going to have to learn how to press a square bound book. You're going to have to learn the fact that not all square bounds are the same, depending on the age and time of square bound. It's going to have staples, but some have staples and glue. Heat it too much, the glue comes out. There's a little tidbit I'm giving you that I had to learn the hard way. So just things like that, brother. Andre Benjamin Riley 3000. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Ah, man, you know what? And I got East meets West now. So think about this, right? you go from collecting comics or reading comics at home. You're the only person at home that reads comics, although it's not that in my house, but you're the only person at home that reads comics, and nobody gets your passion for it. To finding a world in YouTube where everybody loves the same thing that you fucking love, has the same passion, if not more. Now, guys are educating you about Canadian price variants and newsstand variants and how long newsstands have been around, what year newsstands were more prevalent, and what year they've decreased to almost a 5% ratio. So, like, you're spawn number one. You're learning all of this knowledge that you never had before. I mean, we had he's not on much anymore, but Jean Paul Ace Peter GPAP was one of the most knowledgeable guys I had ever met about comic books. He could tell you anything about story arcs. The guy just fucking was an encyclopedia on comic books. You know, it's just good stuff. Good stuff, man. You know, oh crap moment, but then turned out to be great. Yeah, I think if they're old craps, they don't turn out to be too great, you know. I know I was pressing a book for Manny when I first started and put it too hot, and the ink, the book had black pages, and when the pages stuck together, I took the color right off the pages. You know, but he was good-hearted about it. He understood it and took it as a learning experience, and we took it from there, man. You know, shit like that. You know, the shit just it just happened like that. But yeah, I mean, it's great. Look at, I see BLC's been on a couple of crawls, comic book crawls, just hanging out with the guys. I know we did that whole show in Connecticut. Now we got this swap. Shout out to 3 Men in the Basement for pulling stuff like that, man. That just unites the community. You know what's going to be weird for the guys that are just starting? The defects are going to start getting it now because they're already at 800 subs. Wait till you guys go to a big con and people start walking up to you and telling you that they like your show. It's a weird fucking feeling, man. It's a weird. Guys will walk up to you, and you a random person, not a guy that you know his face, you know, from talking like this, because that's like me and Jay from the Defects meeting. It's like I knew him forever because we laugh and talk all the time. But walking up to a guy, or a guy you're standing online, happened to me at C2E2, and a guy walks up and he goes, "Oh, Erod." He goes, "Love your show." He goes, "I collect the same thing," and we start talking. And he showed me pictures of his X-Men #1 and had the, you know, that whole vibe. That stuff didn't happen before we started doing all this YouTube community shit. That's why it's so great, man. So great. Jimmy C. Jimmy C was one of the guys I watched as a young guy. And first time I met him, I heard his voice. I was a Big Apple, and I just walked up and I goes, "Oh, you're Jimmy C, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." We started talking. We became friends. Jimmy C's like an old school dude. I see him at all shows and everything like that. He was the guy who I was like, "Wow, this guy's moving books," and kind of become a Jimmy C to a degree, you know. See who that says it, who that has it, you know, and who that has a good following, so he knows that. It doesn't it. I mean, it's a nice feeling, but it's like, wow, I'm a nobody when it comes to fucking YouTube. You know, I don't have 30,000 subs like Gem Mint or stuff. I'm just a regular guy, just putting out some content, having some fun with a video, and there's actually people out there all over the place. I mean, we have guys that watch from Japan, from England. That's great. That is so great. Yeah, buddy, I'm dying for some more cons. When we go to New York Comic Con, it's out of control, guy. Oh, it's 4 days of mayhem. First day, I don't talk to nobody. First day, I'm just all business. When I was doing into getting my book signed and shit, or getting my exclusives, all business. After that, we chill, you know. But I got to get my shit done. It's all about my comics first, and then after that, we cool out. We just hang out, have a lot of fun, you know. And the Warriors will tell you, I zoom. BLC will tell you. He met me at East Coast, and just let it go. You know, it's hard to do a jersey crawl. You know, I was talking with Nemesis Prime about this, just because there's so many shops that are all different places and everything like that to get that set up. There you go, right? Jeff G just said, learn about the Warriors from the Great Legends auction. Great Legend was another guy. Very nice guy, great guy, has a great Fantastic Four run, knew all about Shazam. He's just a knowledgeable guy, but he was one of the first guys to run auctions. and some of the New York Warriors used to go on there, and it was tough. I think he was only doing them like once a month, and then the guys started going on there and making friends with him. And actually, when I went out to Baltimore Comic Con, they had a booth set up there, and the Comic Corps had a booth there, and I got to meet Great Legend, and it was just nice, man. I got to meet a bunch of the guys from Comic Corps, and it was really, really good. A lot of fun. So Knight says, yeah, it's Fanboy Expo. I was going this year for the first one, but then this thing happened. Yeah, I was actually, I went to see 2E2 for the first time this year, and I got the last con of the year, and I got lucky. And then next year, I'm hoping if it all comes back, I'm probably going to go to Florida and maybe see 2E2 again and hit those. What's that, Mega Con, I believe it is. And then C2E2 was fantastic. I got to meet my man Gills. First time I met Chad RCG, man. Gracious host, had just a good fucking time. I had talked to Chad. I had pressed some books for him, but we went out there and just had a good time. You know, it was a lot of fun. Fuck yeah, Johnny. So the first time I did my video was like this. If you go back and archive, back then we didn't do face-to-face videos. That wasn't a thing. You always propped up your books and showed them off and talked. And it was terrible. I think I had just done a Big Apple Con, and I was showing books that I picked up from Big Apple Con, but you don't have any rhythm. I think I set up like a chair, and I just had the book standing on the back of a chair, and I was holding my phone and just showing the books and talking books. Now, I had the book knowledge, but the screen presence and all that stuff. I don't think I went on a show live. I think the first time I went on a show live that I ever saw anybody was when Ray Jr. and those guys used to have their show. And the Warriors used to go on that a little bit before we were the Warriors. And it was like a waiting list to get on there. They used to do a weekly Sunday show, and it was great. You look forward to it. Now we have so many shows. Sunday, look at Sunday alone. You got the Cranky Canadian, who does a fantastic job. Shout out to Roger Levesque on that stuff. He just did an interview with my man Doom 143, who is a phenomenal guy on this community, one of the funniest dudes I met. And it was aces, man. It was aces. It was a great show. Then you got Joker and my man Broski doing their East meets West and bringing different people from the community from both sides, just talking all kinds of stuff. I know the other day they had James King of the Golden State on there. It was just fun, man. You know, that's good. And then every other week you got Matt Forge, Guy Forge, and my man The Butcher bringing his rant. I mean, he called out Sad Lemon Comics, and that was great because he was right. And he's not being a you might think he's being abrasive. He's not being a dick about it. He's just putting it out there. Jay's a New Yorker, and he's going to come off like he's from New York. We have a certain way of talking, as you can see, a certain way of bringing ourselves. We talk with our hands, right, Kujin? We talk with our hands a lot. And he's in your face. He's Manny NYC. It's the same guy, man. It's just a different version of him. And he keeps it real. He keeps it real. I appreciate him for that. Started to tape stuff more now, but live is amazing to me. Feed off the people. Exactly. Like right now, I'm sitting here and I showed books in for a half hour ago, and I've been talking to you guys for another 15, 20 minutes. Concheto D'Amico, what's going on, my brother? All right, sounds good, brother. We'll talk. Concheto's another guy. Checks my videos out all the time. Yeah, guys, subscribe to your channel. It's good stuff, man. It's just good stuff. Look at it. These were given to me by Jay Salsa. Just a donation because he figured I needed to change the props on the back of my wall. So out of the goodness of his heart, he gave me these fantastic posters that he had. So, you know, they'll stay up there until I remodel this and stop being lazy, but just always moving between work and everything else. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to show you what I picked up, share these books with you guys, share my little new feed stuff, new features that I want to put in there, a couple of ideas that I was working on. I actually stole from my man Everett Otto, and you know, just document everything. You know, AG Surfer, where are the books? Yeah, man, there's always books. AG Surfer, you should know that there are always books. Matter of fact, this book here, just raffled off, and I'll let him show it. But someone from our community on IG and YouTube won this book. I was very happy for the guy because the guy's a solid guy. Yeah, that's true too. Who that just hit people up and say, "Hey, I'm in town." That's another who that says right there. I've been telling people it doesn't have to be at a convention to meet up with people. If you travel, just hit people up. He's right. He's right. I know NYC Comics does that. And he's met up with quite a few people from the community. So I appreciate. Thank you, Johnny Dakota. I appreciate that. Never stop collecting. I hope you do, brother. You know what? What happens? You win a raffle, and then it just kind of snowballs, and you with two or three. I actually just won a big book. I raffled that book off. Literally finished running it, and I was in a raffle that I invested only $36 in. I invested in a mini, which got me to the main, which got me into the big show, and I won the book. It's a huge upgrade for me. I'll share that with you guys as soon as I can. See, yeah, who that could have met up with us 4 years ago when he was in New York City for a week. You might have to come out here another time, who that, and then we'll meet up again. The only thing with that stuff is we got to plan ahead because with everybody's work schedules. Like I work shift work. I know Manny works and he's got a young family, so it's kind of rough sometimes with that. It's all just, you know. So Rags, you said you've won a lot so far. Rags is doing his raffles too, you know, and he's won quite a few. That's good. Yeah, definitely same here, my man. I cannot wait for the swap. Next book I'm probably going to be raffling off is going to be an NYX 3, 9.6. So if you guys are interested in that, probably tomorrow it'll be up on my page on IG. Take a look at it. If you got any pressing requests or anything, hit me up on IG. Send me a DM. I try and answer those as fast as I can. But yeah, you know, Rags, that's the one thing. I call it like playing scratch offs, man, or playing the lotto. They become addictive because you once you get a win, you know. So who that used to play a lot of raffles? I saw him win a lot of big books. Yeah, I know he's won quite a few big books. Who that and Manny have won some of the bigger books that I've seen in the comic community. It's interesting. I've won some nice ones. Marky 316 is another guy who's won some big ones. I believe he won first Brainiac and he won the first Swamp Thing. I know he won a House of Secrets. You know, so big books. Biggie's is one. Biggie's Hulk 181. He's won a couple of my raffles too. You know, so that's it, guys. But hey, thank you for coming out here. I appreciate you guys joining me. If I got enough stuff, I'll probably put out a video next Friday. I think I know the New York Warriors are on tonight, 10 o'clock. Go check them out. They got my man Wink Ink on there. Corporate Man is going to be doing his thing. Thorough will have his spec stuff coming up. I believe that comes out on a Thursday. So check that out. That's always good shit, man. If you guys are not following Thorough, you're slipping. Him and Jay, the Butcher, Universe X is another guy. Those guys have been playing the spec game hard, but doing the research. And that's the key. They do the research. They just don't put shit out there like some other fucking people do and put it on their account and say, oh, yeah, and everything. Dude, I can fucking hit 1,000,000 times if I just keep throwing shit and throw it to the wall. Oh, shit. You know what? Arcade's going to come out in a movie. This is first appearance of Arcade. Throw this out. Throw this out. Throw this out. Throw that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep throwing show books. Throw that out. You know, throw. Just spec out all the time. You know, another one. Spec. You know what? Something's going to stick and then you're successful. No, do the research. Watch what Thorough does. Watch, you know, what the Butcher does and Universe X. Those guys go out there, read their fucking books. J-Rod Ham's another guy, reads his books and do the fucking research. Do the research. And, you know, you're not going to hit every time. But, you know, another TiVo, and TiVo has his sources and everything like that. But at least Tim's fucking honest and tells you, hey, you know what? I got a lot of hits, but how many times have we fucked up and got misses? He's actually going to do a video on that. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate people like that. Honest fucking people. Ain't no need to fucking bullshit. But there you go. That's not my cranky Canadian rant, but that's just my little minute in time. They're just, you know, telling how I feel. But again, thank you all for joining me. Until my next video, peace.